But yeah, like if you feel like it's, something that you're into or that you want to confront things about yourself, I'd recommend it. But if it's your first time, I'd recommend doing it with someone else, or at least having a sitter, and obviously starting with that low dose. Like you don't want to, because you can get railed by these things. Like I've heard stories of people just, what was that story you told of that your mate in college who turned into a cube?
Oh yeah, my best friend and roommate. He took an eighth, so he had 3.5 grams. And I'm sitting there editing a YouTube video, and the guy just walks across the dorm, and he's looking at me, he's staring at me, and I'm sitting down. And I look up at him, and I'm like, hey, like, what's going on? And he looks down at me, and then he sits down on the floor, crisscross applesauce, and he looks up at me, and he goes like this, and he pulls his shirt out, and he puts it over his head like this. And he's looking down into his shirt, and he goes, dude, I'm a fucking cube. I was like, what? What did you say? Like, lift up my headphone. I'm like, what did you say? He goes, I'm a cube. Dude, I'm a cube, dude. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he looks at me. He puts his head out of his shirt, and he looks up at me, and he goes, oh, now it's just like we're just talking, and it's normal.
Interesting.
And then he does it again, and he goes, oh my God, it's happening again. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you're turning into a cube? And he goes, I have 6 sides. I'm solid. No, wait, I'm hollow. No, I'm solid. I go, look at me, dude. Just look at me. And he looks at me and goes, and now I'm back to normal. And now we're just talking. And then he'd do it again. He'd go, I'm a cube. I'd be like, all right, dude, I'm trying to edit a Counter-Strike surf video. This is amazing.
Yeah, honestly, that doesn't sound like the worst experience. It sounds like you had fun being a cube.
Yeah,
but you can have some fucking traumatizing.
What would a bad experience
times.
look like? Like a really bad
I'd say a really bad experience would be if you're in like an uncomfortable setting, like with a lot of people around maybe that you don't know, or maybe you're with people that like you don't get along with or something like that. And you're just like, I don't know, like I guess you're really just confront your environment, and you like your environment is so important and your mindset's so important that if you're in that environment, you could probably start like just getting in negative thought loops, and your brain is sparking and like making all these connections at once. So like that becomes really overwhelming and visually really unpleasant. And I've never had a bad trip, so I actually don't know what it feels like.
A bad trip is essentially a panic attack, except while you're tripping. And a panic attack feels like you're fucking dying. So when you have a panic attack on acid or shrooms, it feels even worse than dying. It feels horrible. It feels horrible.
Which is why like it like pays to kind of, I guess, have a mantra in your head that like I'm on shrooms. I know shrooms are safe. I know I won't die. I'm not going to die. Like, or whatever it is that comforts you or brings you back to reality, to remember, oh, I took a substance. That's why I'm feeling funny. And you just kind of have to let yourself go with what you're doing. Like you can't.
That's what I had to do when I was
then
puking.
you start feeling uncomfortable.
I was a step away from fucking freaking out and being like, I don't want to do this. I felt like crying at one point. Like I was so overwhelmed. And I was like, why do I even feel like crying? Like, what am I grieving for? Like, I took shrooms. I'm already an hour into the trip. I have another hour and a half to go before, like, this hurdle is cleared. And, like, I'm feeling better. So why do I even have to freak out? What, am I going to freak out for an hour until I feel better? Do I really need a backpack? Do I really need, like, people to reassure me? I'm going to be fucking fine. So let me listen to Cam play music and let me just trip out a little. And go comatose on the couch and shake and seize. And then, boom, I can dance. And then I was good.
Yeah,
you
were free.
Yeah, I was free. I was free of the bullshit and the anxiety.
Yeah,
puking on. I wouldn't recommend puking on shrooms, man. That was really rough. That was really rough.
You said you kind of enjoyed the visuals though, right? Like, weren't they interesting to look at?
Yeah, but also really over. I mean, dude, they made me dizzy. Yeah. They made me want to vomit because it was spinning. It was like closing my eyes, and then the world is spinning around me. It was insane.